It's going to be a very interesting show today, and you're going to like the format of the show. When we were running for mayor, I say my team was running for mayor in the city of Portland, one of the things we were very interested in trying to figure out how do we solve some problems within the city of Portland. Because in all due respect, the city of Portland is kind of like the living room of Oregon. When you think about the living room of Oregon. And we were covering, at that particular time, we were covering the idea of a land issue, Bureau of Land Management, and there was a, what was the name of that?
The Bundys?
The Bundys. Was the Bundys issue aspect of it. And anyway, we had a show, and Don was on it too and all. And one of the things we said that we figured we needed a process. And the process would be that if a person wants to come and march or demonstrate on basically First Amendment right and share their thoughts and whatever, the idea was to come, go and file at the city of Portland, and then go before the city of Portland. There's a Wednesday gathering, if you will, where the mayor and the commissioners tend to educate, communicate the last week issues of the city of Portland, whatever, and the person would be able to, at that point in time, share why their rationale, why they're having, if you will, the march, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And once they've done that, and then the commissioners and the mayor would vote as to whether or not they felt this would be something that would be of benefit to the livability of the city of Portland, but at the same time be aware, let the people be aware of what's going on, what's to be done. And then that's okay, they get signed off on this deal, and that's fine. This way people know that that there will be a march. That's live video too, by the way. That's on the tube. It comes out on the tube aspect. But the idea is that the people would know that there would be a march there on a Saturday, because Saturday is a very important day to all of us for that matter. Because I could get out the house, go downtown, walk the street, whatever's necessary. So anyway, we did that. But anyway, now what we're doing is now we're doing this particular segment. We're going to do something on an event that happened here in the Portland metropolitan area with a young man, another videographer, news person. His name was I'm sorry,
Mike Strickland.
Mike Strickland. Yeah, I have to know the guy because he worked on the campaign. Get a little time in there. But anyway, that was a little event that happened, and so we were just going to take the opportunity to kind of rehash, if you will, that so-called idea of what we thought the city could do about whole issue of marches and activities in the city of Portland, and got someone here that is a good example of it. We're going to have him share with us, talk about the whole issue of Mike Strickland, what that's all about, aspect of it. This way, that's one part of it. And the other part stepped out is that the city of Portland, because when you think about the city of Portland and those elected officials, they really are employees of the voters.
Of course.
See, so the whole idea, we're doing it. We're educating the public as to what went on, and he's going to talk about an upcoming event.
Yes.
An event about supporting whatever his issues are. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to my man Leo. Leo's, like I said, he's kind of like a media guy like us.
Yeah.
We're not fake news, but you know, we're there, right? Okay, Leo.
Just try to get it out there so everybody sees what really happens
There
and
you go.
not how it's wanted to be conveyed by any particular
Exactly.
news source.
Exactly.
So,
Leo, let us know, what is
well, I have are you talking about what I do personally or the issue with Mike?
well, no, you just briefly do the person because we fall in the same vein.
Okay, yeah. Basically, you know, Mike was downtown. He has a YouTube channel, and it's called Laughing at Liberals. And for those who aren't really in the know, I wasn't before. I got my own YouTube channel. He has, I want to say, over 20,000 subscribers and millions of views. So he's very proficient, and he also writes blogs for other very influential other sources of on media. So you know, he's very prolific, but he's very passionate about the Second Amendment and a lot of First Amendment things. And being Oregon and having kind of honestly a very progressive city government, and really at the state level as well, he knows that they're always trying to be like your Washington D.C.'s, your Californias, your New York City, where there are absolutely no gun rights whatsoever. And, you know, that may represent a small portion of the state, but there's an entire rest of the state that, you know, is aware of their rights, their Second Amendment rights, and, you know, very much need them. And so he would go and do videos of like city council meetings and like little breakout things where, say, just a quick name to throw out there, Jimmy Burdick, for example, would have a town hall in her neighborhood. And, you know, kind of like when Barack Obama was saying that individuals cling to their guns, their God, and whatever, because he was in San Francisco. They kind of do the same things. They speak to, they just think their own constituents. But he would come and film it, and then those things would get out to everybody. And so that kind of made him unpopular amongst.
But that was his background. He was a videographer.
Yeah.
He was a newsprint.
And then he also, when they were trying to pass some new Second Amendment laws in following Sandy Hook situation, they saw it as an opportunity to, okay, you know, we can use this to get some of these stricter gun laws and enforcements that we wanted. He was a big part of the individuals that were going down to Salem and testifying before the Senate. And those got put up as well. So it was very well known amid that the Second Amendment was something that was very...
and that's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether the anti, whether you pro, but that's where he was.
Yeah.
But he still was a videographer for news.
Right, exactly.
So what about this particular incident?
Well, he also, Portland does a lot of the Black Lives Matter, Hands Up, Don't Shoot, Ceasefire Oregon, all of those types of groups. They're very active. And, you know, he goes and he films those as well. So he's recognized from those events, and he does great work. So he's good at editing and telling the story, and it gets out to your Breitbarts and things of that nature. So it gets well out there. So he was going to, I believe this was following maybe the Michael Brown verdict, case verdict, and things
would come at that particular time.
Yes, things had come to a head, and he had gone down to the Portland State area, down on the campus, which is where a lot of these things occur. From there, basically up to like City Hall and the park blocks, that area is where it's real popular to do this, and up to Pioneer Courthouse Square, the city's neighborhood, as you had said, yeah. And so he went down there and was filming, and there were individuals that were basically kind of within the groups had said, you know, we need to do something about Mike because he's creating problems.
So it was a Black Lives Matter against us.
He was, yeah. It was that, but it also was Hands Up, Don't Shoot, and I mean, a lot of times they all kind of convene, and but yeah, Black Lives Matter, I think, is the most recognized nationally amongst the groups. So
in all respect, we give credit to Teresa Rayford because she's recognized in the Portland metropolitan area as Black Lives Matter.
Right. So, and I think of all of the groups, like Hands Up, Don't Shoot and all that, the ones that's taken the most hold and gotten the most positive traction has been Black Lives Matter. So that's
nationwide.
Yeah. So it's not singling out. Exactly. Yeah.
So then what happened?
Well, so he was down there and he was just filming. Well, let me back up just a little tiny bit. About maybe an hour before that, there was a separate little rally at Pioneer Courthouse Square, and there was an individual there there were a few Black Panthers there, and they were angry, and they were riling up the group, and the individual was there, and there's video of this, of him saying, you know, if the cops come around and they threaten you, you need to pull out your gun and shoot them type of thing. And he was just, I mean, you know, I'm not going to use the language they're using, but I mean, it was extreme. And there's video out there to prove this occurred. Well, that individual then came down to where Mike was, as well as some of these other individuals that he had crossed earlier just by having videos of them, and they kind of converged on him. And there was basically, it was almost like a hit on him that was put on him to go down there and take care of him, to try and, you know, encourage him physically.
Now this, excuse me, now this was being shared also too.
Yeah.
In the trial, right?
Well, I'm not sure how much of it is allowed.
That was a federal trial,
Yeah.
that was a federal trial.
Yeah.
And then for the benefit of the, again, for the viewing audience, let them know, need to let them know now what did Mike do.
Okay, so anyway, so these individuals were convening on him and threatening him, and he has his concealed carry permit. He went through all the training and everything, and he had a 9mm or something with the Glock, and he simply pulled it out and waved it in the air. He had what they tell you is as a safety thing, you put your finger above the trigger carriage there, but, and not on the trigger unless you're about to pull it. So you can clearly see on video when they have him doing this, that his finger is above on the side of the gun, and he simply waves it around and he says, "Back off." Now there's another individual that's kind of amongst more of the protesters groups, but I give him credit. He came and he said, let him get out of here. He's scared. You know.
So what did Mike do? Did Mike pull the weapon?
He pulled it out, and he
was on video there.
Yeah, he did that, and then he put it back down. Well, at the point that he pulled it out, they seized upon it. I think part of it was to get him to try and do that, to try and provoke him. And if they couldn't take him out physically, legally, then they knew that he was a Second Amendment person. They provoke him to pull the gun out, and then they could say, "Hey, look, boy, he's threatening us," which happened.
I might add too that you did give me the opportunity to look at some of the videos.
Okay.
And you shared those because you posted them out there, and people were able to see those too. So I would suggest that if you'd like to see some of those, you can Google it, right? You can Google it.
Yes.
And or is there a website?
Well, I would actually recommend Victoria Taft,
Okay.
who is she used to actually have a radio show here, and now she's down in Los Angeles.
Okay.
But she's done several process throughout the trial on this particular piece where she's put.
So they Google her name, would they get it?
Yes.
So they Google Victoria Taft.
Yeah, Victoria Taft. Yes.
Victoria Taft.
And then
Mike Strickland.
Yes.
Mike Strickland.
Yes. And she's done basically like almost a
And
symposium.
everything you said, and everything you said and more, and they have the opportunity to see that.
Yeah, exactly, and see it in the time frame and everything else.
So now that I'm just trying to move ahead a little bit with the time frame, but now you want, there's going to be an event, you know?
Yes.
Let's talk about that event.
Okay, well, Mike, within our community, because I also do similar things to what he does, he's always been so gracious with me and helpful, and we kind of look out for each other. I am going to have on tax day, April 15th.
April 15th?
Yeah, there is a significance to that.
Okay.
It's tax day.
All right.
Tax burden.
You know what I call it? Rent day.
Rent day?
Yeah. Everybody got to pay the rent, right?
That's
Okay,
true.
all
That's
right,
true.
all right.
Okay, so on rent day.
On rent day.
On versus rent day, on 15th.
No, all about rent day.
No, okay. But I'm giving you credit for the rent thing. I didn't come up with that, so.
Don don't pay it now. I'm trying to get back in.
Okay. Anyway, on that particular day, Saturday at 12 o'clock down at City Hall, down there on, 4th Street or whatever.
Okay.
Can't miss it. I am having a rally to support Mike Strickland, where a lot of individuals I've invited are just going to come down. We're going to have
Right there,
speakers.
City Hall?
Yeah, right there.
Right, City Hall?
City
About
Hall,
what time?
12 o'clock.
About 12 o'clock? Okay.
Yep.
I take it have you gone in and gone through the process? And
Yep.
filed?
I went to get a permit, and they said you don't need one because it's City Hall, it's city property.
Okay.
But what the benefit was they are letting the police force know.
Okay.
And that way they will make sure that everything is safe for everybody.
Okay.
And we're going to have speakers there that will go further into depth about your Second Amendment rights in the state of Oregon. And
So you got a press conference. Press conference,
Yes.
he's going to be there,
Yes.
handing out flyers again,
Yes.
bringing the point up. The whole, and I guess the point is the whole idea is to maybe look at a repeal of some sort, because that right in front of him, he has been, was it temporarily, was it sentence or whatever?
well, what originally occurred is he had, they posted bail, so he's been on bail.
Posted bail.
And then he went back in and was sentenced, he will be sentenced in May.
Sentence is made.
Yeah, and he's got like 20 counts against him. They got him on every single
How
thing.
much time possibly?
Like 50 years or more.
50 years, wow, that's a pretty heavy piece.
Yeah.
So the whole idea is to try to get this thing back to the table, so to speak.
The idea
Be in a
is
position
to,
that when the judges got ready to basically make this particular point, right, or sentence, whatever happens after that, you want to make sure that the word's out.
That, and Mike is a single young man, and not married or anything. I don't know much about his family, but he's always had our back. He's gone out there for our cause. We want him to know that we have his back as well.
I'm going to go back real quick, like on as far as the weapon was concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Now you said he had a concealed weapons permit.
Yes.
How long has he had that permit?
As far as I know, several years.
And did he get it? Did he apply here in Multnomah County, in Portland?
Yes, I believe so.
He did,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, because he's been a resident here, so I think he would have
So
to.
was police aware of the fact that, or did he make the police aware of the fact that he's carrying a weapon while he's videoing?
Well, what happened is once he pulled it and then he put it back down and they backed off, then he saw the police and he went over and he surrendered himself to the point where he went down, and you can see in the video he kneels down, puts his arms out, and
I guess my point is that this thought was what came to my mind when you made the point about the fact that he was carrying a concealed weapon permit. He had a permit, the whole 9 yards aspect of it. Did he make the officers aware of the fact that he had a weapon before he went out in?
That I don't know.
Okay.
That I don't know.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I want to make that point. If he said that, then if the police said it's okay, then boom, and they'll give him the criteria, blah, blah, blah routine, maybe check him out or something like that. Or they might have said, no, you can't do that.
Well, he's very aware, being that he covers all this, he knows where you can and can't have
Right.
even a second, because there's, like colleges, for example, you cannot have on college campuses in the state of Oregon
Right.
concealed,
He
even
knows
though it's okay to have it in other areas. So he's very acute to where you can have it, where not. He knows it sideways and upside down.
But let's keep it in a positive vein from the standpoint that let's say, okay, fine, maybe he might get promotion, or maybe he might lower that sentence or whatever, but at the end of that day, hopefully it's something we might learn, folks like yourself and whatever, that's out there. They say, well, okay, fine, maybe part of that process is that before they get out there and do whatever, they would at least advise, at least talk to them, or at least indicate to the police department, police, whoever, that they do have a weapon.
Yeah.
And is it okay for me to blah, blah, blah routine? If they said no, then boom, because they said, fine, it's still sitting in the car locked up,
Right.
or he'll take it
Well,
out. And
but at the same time,
There's a discussion.
yes,
There's
discussion, but it
discussion.
is, the Second Amendment
Oh, no.
does apply. And
I'm
that's-
agreeing with you.
And this also goes to the First Amendment. That's one thing important that I really want
Oh, yeah.
to tell people coming to this event. This is also about your First Amendment rights.
Right.
And they basically shut down all of this. He's not allowed to go to do anything. He can't do any filming. They took all his equipment. He can't be on social media, nothing. I mean, they have him, and that's a First Amendment issue. You want to shut down somebody's First Amendment, and that affects people who maybe don't even like guns.
Well,
because it goes to...
Well, Leo, in all due respect, that's one of the reasons why I have you here, because see, it's very important that we get the media out there.
Yes.
You know what I mean, to tell the story as to the resident. That's why I said we need a process, if you will, when there's a march.
Right.
And hopefully have, and understand the rationale for having media. I mean, we're having this question now about fake media, this, that, that, whether or not what you can believe, this, that, that. So the name of the game is that this whole exercise that we're going to, and using Mike with respect, not thinking about Mike, but at the same time, Mike is brought to the table.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
Just to see how can we get this stuff to the point that...
I don't want him to be a
That's right.
sacrificial lamb
That's right.
on one hand, but
That's
on the
right.
other hand,
That's right.
people need to know that
That's right.
and this goes back to what you said about the BLM,
Yeah.
as in buddies and stuff.
Right.
It's the same thing. They were trying to do the same
Same
thing.
thing.
understand that your rights as an American citizen under the
Right.
Constitution
Right.
are being infringed upon. And if you don't address it, if you aren't aware of it,
Right.
then you're the next, you could be the next person.
Right.
I could be the next person, you could be the next person.
Right.
And that's just,
Well, this has been
Shameful.
great, man. Well, like I said, since it's April, what now? Again?
it's April 15th,
April
what did you
15th.
call it, Writ Day?
Yeah, right there.
Or tax day
That's
for
right.
the rest of the country.
Yeah, man, Don's got that? Got that. Okay, so the whole idea is that it's gonna be on April 15th.
Yes.
So just
City
tax
Hall,
day,
yes.
tax day or rent day, aspect of it. It's gonna be at 12 noon.
12 noon, yes.
You got your permit, everything's
Yes.
all squared away.
Permit.
The officers are very familiar
Yep.
with that. And I'm sure no one's gonna be carrying their weapon unless they check
No.
it, unless they check it in with the officer.
I specifically asked, due to my situation, let's not even open carry anything. This is all about Mike, and we don't want to hurt his case.
Right.
This is to support him
Right.
and just an informational thing.
Well, you know, like I said, nobody wants to get shot, and in all due respect, I damn sure don't want anybody out there carrying a weapon, and they don't have the right to do it. Maybe we might even want to consider having, a waterfront, if you will, and putting the detectors on it there. And people walk in and they get the whole open area. Anything to save lives. That's
Well, one thing I can honestly say is a lot of people that said they're coming amongst the group of people that I've invited, which has been 4,000. They're very respectful of their rights. They understand it, but they aren't going to make other people uncomfortable. This is a family event, and it'd be an example
What I
to
hear
the
you
kids.
saying, do not carry weapons at City Hall.
Yeah.
That's what I hear you saying.
Yeah, and it's a respectful thing, and and you want to teach your kids that you can come down and have an event where you're just learning from each other and not have to be scared of each other.
Yeah. It might be a better deal if you feel that you still want to insist to carry a weapon. Check in with the Portland Police, if you're in Portland. Check in with Portland Police Department and say, hey, look, I want to carry my weapon, I'm going to carry my weapon. They'll tell you yes or no, and then if they say no and you say you're still insisting, then go to court. Get it squared away before you have the event. Fair?
Exactly, yeah. But it's going to be safe there.
No.
It really is.
But I understand, I know you're going to be safe. I'll probably be there, just to make sure.
Oh, I'd love to have you.
And the other thing we're going to do, Leo, we're going to have you back on before that day.
Okay, great.
To make sure that people know.
Yes.
Make sure that they're aware of what's going on.
Yeah, the media will be there. I've
Okay.
contacted some of them.
And besides Victoria Taft talking about the issue, do you have the announcement on your page at all?
Yes, I do.
What is it? Why don't you share it?
It's my page is on the YouTube, just under Leo Stratton.
Leo Stratton, just reach out. Leo Stratton.
LeoStratton. Yes.
Okay, you got it. Leo, this is going to be great, okay?
Yeah, and actually, if you want to find it, most easily put in your Google search, support Mike Strickland rally.
Awesome. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thanks, Leo.